Kofi Bartels. You have the big names, the most pressing issues, and the sharpest conversations.
He must leave that place of talking into this place of doing.
Nothing are paying through their nose, and you are telling them after training they can't migrate. I will not be part of those who will give soft landing to these guys who are running the affairs of this country.
People are dying every day in an hour. People just go in and come out and read out stories to us. Come on, Kofi.
We must step beyond the talk. We have the analysis.
Join us as we dissect the headlines, bring you exclusive interviews, and dive deep into the heart of the matter. The big conversations live here.
Join Kofi Bartels on the Morning Crossfire, weekdays 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. only on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
From more news to more talk and more voices.
I thought to myself, where is the renewed hope?
This president is one of the best that have happened to Nigeria.
APC opposition list expectations for next INEC chair.
Let's reform for the good of Nigeria.
INEC shortlists 14 associations for political party registration.
This is the first time you see that legislature is defending the executive.
Negotiating with terrorists, and they're telling us what they want.
I don't know how else to describe it. Nigeria is not normal.
I want Nigerians to be prepared. The 2027 election is going to be an election that has been different from any other election we've experienced in Nigeria.
The conversation starts here. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk. It's not just the news or information.
It is more than you ask for.
What is our ship? When Lagos State says this organization is meant to help us out, and the people working there are not helping us out.
You have a situation where people say it's normal that if your husband doesn't beat you, then he doesn't love you.
Where madness seems to be normalized, you will become mad.
And more of the rush you just can't stop.
It's the station for more talk. 99.3 Nigeria Info.
We go hard and in depth.
The real discourse and commentaries right here
on Nigeria Info.
This is a clear situation of Kodima and die, Kodima and bury.
What kind of marriage is that?
You are calling it marriage. Is that like now what?
Isn't there a tradition like when you're pissed you can walk away? You don't have that tradition?
The radio at its finest.
It's This is Morning Crossfire on 99.3 Nigeria Info. Are you ready to be heard?
Yeah, good morning, Kofi Bartels. Hello, good morning, Kofi Bartels. Good morning, Mr. Kofi. Hello, Mr. Kofi Bartels. And morning good to all our callers and listeners.
It's your voice that drives the conversation.
This is Morning Crossfire on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Okay, sincere apologies. We're trying to get our guest comfortably ready for the conversation. I'm glad to say we have him on the line. Today we're looking at the issue of Christian genocide in Nigeria. Listen to everyone, listen to all the analysis. We've had calls coming through from our listeners out there. It's been a hot topic. We've listened to the Americans talk about it, the British talk about it, celebrities talk about it, world boxing champions tweet about it, post about it. Everybody's talking about this report of Christian genocide in Nigeria. And we thought it, best to invite the authors of the report to tell us how they compiled the report. And I'm glad to say we have a guest on the line who will be giving us just that. To be a part of the conversation, please call 0201 277 0993, 0201 277 0993. And you can also call 0201 465 7190. 0201 465 7190. WhatsApp number is available today for your calls, your text messages, and your voice notes. That's your WhatsApp messages and your voice notes, so you can do that as well. Now, the WhatsApp number is 08095975805. I'd like to say a very good morning to Mr. Emeka Umeagbalasi, who is the founder of Intersociety, which is an international human rights organization that authored this report. It's properly known as International Society for Civil Liberties and Rule of Law, Intersociety. He's a human rights and democracy campaigner. He's been doing that since 1994 when he joined the Civil Liberties Organization. He also became volunteer member of Amnesty International Nigeria in 1995 and later served as its group coordinator of the Onitsha Group. And from 1996 to 1998, he was an international associate member of Human Rights Watch USA. And of course, he is a trained qualified criminologist. He's a criminologist and graduate of security studies with a second-class upper division from the National Open University, where he obtained a master's degree in peace studies and conflict resolution. He has a tall profile, so we'll leave it at that and say good morning to Emeka Umeagbalasi. I hope I got the name right. Good morning to you, sir. Thanks for joining us on Nigerian 4FM.
Thank you, my brother from the other side.
All right. The Lagosians are eager to hear from you because your report has created more than a splash. I mean, all over the world. Are you surprised? Are you surprised that how far your report by Intersociety, the Intersociety report on Christian genocide, as you put it, in northern Nigeria has gone? Are you surprised at how far it has gone?
Well, any reasonable person who is also a professional that dishes out such a report on behalf of an organization where I'm the principal head, alongside other team of lawyers and so on. Of course, when such a report starts making waves, of course, it's not that the person or our team, members are surprised, but it is a thing of joy because the idea of the essence of putting out that report is for purpose of problem solving and having a kind of win-win situation at the end of the day. So for that, if there is a loud cry for that report to be acted upon or to be taken to the next critical stage, and somewhere along the line or in the end, such cry is substantially heard, of course, it becomes a thing of joy.
All right.
So to that extent, that is that's what I can say for now about your question. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. So for those who are listening, of course, Morning Crossfire today, deeply diving into this sensitive and controversial conversation, one that touches the heart of Nigeria's security, humanity, and indeed Nigeria's truth. And the term Christian genocide has reemerged, like you've heard me say, in national global discourse following this recent report by Intersociety. And you just had the founder of Intersociety on the line with us. Is still here. You can call and you can have your say. What we're asking you, our listeners, this morning is: do you believe that Christians are being systematically targeted in Nigeria? For those of you who are listening, or do you think that this narrative oversimplifies a much larger security situation and indeed security crisis in Nigeria? If you're listening this morning, you can call in and tell us or send in your contributions. What responsibility does the government, both federal and state across the country, especially in the north, what responsibility do they have to investigate and address the killings and the details of this report? And reports like this, do they help the cause of justice, or do they deepen religious divides and divisions in Nigeria? We're streaming live on Facebook and YouTube, so you can also drop your comments there and we'll read that as you go. Mr. Umeagbalasi, how did you compile this report? How did you come about the figures? Because you've put out some numbers. You say in your report over 100,000 Christians have been killed in Nigeria or abducted since 2009. So how did you come about this?
I would like you to be complete and professional in your statistics. And that report we are referring to, it is not only that percentage and the apportionment to Christians that was contained in that report. We also have a provision that some 60,000 moderate Muslims also killed. I hope I'm getting you right. But we just singled out the number of Christians that were killed. The report clearly stated that estimated 125,000 Christians were sent to their early graves because they were Christians. Likewise, 60,000 moderate or non-violent Muslims. That is how best to quote that report. So coming to how we compare that report, we have just read out a short profile of your guest today, and I must thank you people and thank your platform for bringing me on board, even for going extra mile in trying to locate the authors of such a report or those who are behind, the organization called Intersociety. Of course, the outburst generated by the report, it's not it's not as if many people think as if this report is just an accidental or a spontaneous report. No, this thing is something that has been systematically compiled over a long period of time. We only review and update. So, going straight to your question, let me answer your question direct. The issue of looking into the religious persecution in Nigeria, by the Intersociety. The Intersociety was formed by a group of professionals in 2008, came on board in July 2008. And before then, like you said, I have been a grassroots rights defender and campaigner since 1990s. And that is to say that at a point I became the chairman of the Civil Liberties Organization in Anambra State, and rose to become the vice chairman of Southeast Management Committee of the organization. And then my leadership has already started looking at all these killings from just crisis of 2001, 2004, 2007, 2008 to until the Boko Haram uprising of 2009. That is specifically on July 2009, from July 2009. So it's not a work that was done today. It is a work that is a kind of, I don't know how to put it, is a comprehensive compilation through primary and secondary sources, through tracking and monitoring, and so on and so forth, that have been there since 2010, even to the point of 2015, when we rose in strong defense of Shiite Muslims in Nigeria, when their members were massacred. The members who were processing, I didn't say, even if they are protesting, they are having this annual procession.
Okay.
And the chief of army staff convoy stumbled into them and they opened fire, instead of taking the other route. And the thing lasted for 3 days. To the extent that their headquarters in Zaria, was burned down and what have you. And in the end, not less than 900 of their members, defenseless members, were shot and killed. Later, the government of Kaduna State, led by, the SAG, Secretary to the Government of Kaduna State, later admitted 348. And if we went further to say they were buried in mass graves.
Okay.
So you can now see that it is something that has been ongoing over a period of time. And let me also quickly remind you that those who are behind the Intersociety are all key volunteers. Nobody is paying us. We have our respective legitimate means of livelihood. Those of us who are lawyers, we are engaged in legal practice. Those of us who are businessmen, who are journalists and things like that. So it is through secondary and primary sources, through tracking and monitoring, that has existed, over a period of 2010 to 2025 is 15 years, is it not?
Okay. 2010.
So we have been doing
years,
that.
Yes.
It's 15 years. So we have been doing that. If you go on Google, you can Google us. Intersociety report and situation of Christians or religious persecution 2016 in Kaduna, 2012, 2013, and so on and so forth. And the way we do it is that when we want to put out a fresh report, we go to our archive and pick the summary, because there is no way you can lift all the reports you have issued in the past. I mean, it will become unreadable. So we just pick the summary and add it to the fresh findings we made, reference them, then do the analysis, subject them to logic and critical thinking, and have our findings.
All right.
And one other thing I must let you know is that the scope of our...
Yes,
okay.
Go on. I'm listening. Please go on. Yeah.
The scope of our report is very large. The scope of our coverage. Many other organizations do come to Nigeria and concentrated in the Middle Belt, for instance. But the issue of persecution, religious persecution, whether Muslims or Christians, or particularly in this respect, Christians, is something that is restricted to, it's not restricted to Christians alone. In fact, under the United Nations Convention and norms, you don't have international Christian religious freedom. This thing is international religious freedom. Do you get? So if you are a Muslim, you must be allowed to practice your faith non-violently, and the state is under obligation to protect you and their sacred place of worship or learning.
Okay, so Mr. Sir, we want to bring in our listeners. I don't want to waste time, Mr. Umeagbalasi. You said that you've been tracking this violence in northern Nigeria and across the country, but for the purposes of this report,
across the country, not only northern Nigeria.
Yeah, but for the purposes of this report, in the north, for let's say across Nigeria, because Christians are everywhere. Since 2010, and you've been updating your records. And I don't. This is not the first time you're using the word genocide, because I've done my research and I've seen that you even published a report last year, that used the word genocide. In 2023, I think you also may have done something similar, but maybe this one is getting traction because of the involvement of the Americans. So wait, who did you go to? Kaduna? Did you go to Borno? Did you go to Adamawa, Zamfara, and all these places and other parts of the country to meet the people there to get these numbers? Are these media reports?
Like I said before, I have gotten your answer. Your question. Let me explain it to you again.
Okay.
We are students of social science research. And the social science research, there are rules. No one organization can be everywhere. It's not possible. Even if you are giving all the money on it. Then where you can cover, where what do you call it? Where your men or research assistants or field assistants can cover, you deploy your men there. Where you cannot cover, you rely on secondary sources. Do you get? If you have gone through our report carefully and meticulously, we didn't even include all the sources for want of space. You can see that we copiously quoted various organizations, Open Doors, International Christian Concern, this, that, and what have you, Christian Communities, Christian Association of Nigeria, Kosin, Church of Brethren in Nigeria, Kosin Church, Anglican, Catholic, and so on and so forth. Then the Sokapu, Southern Kaduna People's Union, Adala Development Association, Middle Belt Forum, and so on and so forth. Then where we cannot deploy our men or our people, we use secondary sources and subject those sources to logic and critical analysis. For instance, in the Southwest. Do you understand? And we have been following patterns and trends of all this development.
Okay.
Do you get?
So
that is the thing. So
at what point? I'm sure you may have made a decision, maybe in your meetings, and all that, to use the word genocide to describe these killings, being.
It's not our own. The word genocide is not even the bone of contention. I don't think that thing is the bone of contention. Whether genocide or not genocide, it's like Nigerian government that they said, "Oh, there is no Christian genocide going in Nigeria." going on in Nigeria. It is not only Christians that are being killed. After all, Muslims are also being killed. That is express admission of responsibility, because the bone of contention is there any religious violence or religious persecution in Nigeria? And the answer is yes. It doesn't matter whether the victims are Muslims and Christians. Everybody is a religious animal. Then coming to the issue you are asking me, your question as per genocide, all of us are students of international politics and diplomacy, international laws and what have you. We go to Geneva Convention. We go to Geneva Convention and look at the concise meaning of genocide.
Mr. Umeagbalasi,
let me land.
There's an avid break that is going to kick in a matter of seconds. So when we come back, I'll just allow you just make this point you're making. Not to worry. We'll be right back. All right.
Okay. Okay.
More news and information coming up. We'll be back in a moment.
There is something about good news. You can't keep it to yourself.
Guys, it has finally happened.
There is something about joy. You can't keep it to yourself. And there is something about the rich taste of Lipton. You can't keep it to yourself.
When you get something you enjoy, you share. Lipton Yellow Label. Tea so good, you want to share.
In the kitchen game, there are players and then Umeagbalasi, MVP, Player of the Year, 10-0, no rival. Become an Umeagbalasi with the new improved Maggi chicken flavor, made with a flavorful formation of onions, celery, turmeric to bring out your top game in the kitchen. Elevate the taste of your everyday dishes with delicious rich chicken flavor. Oh yeah, let's go.
New Maggi chicken flavor, my game changer.
My back, my body, my shoulder, with salon pass. When the back is on the train, you with salon pass. When the body on the travel, Salon Pass Pain Relief Patch provides effective relief for stubborn pain such as back pain, shoulder pain, knee pain, and leg pain. Salon Pass is distributed by Drugstock and available in pharmacies and stores near you. Try Salon Pass today. Salon Pass, just patch it. If symptoms persist after 3 days, please consult your doctor.
Whether you're buying smoky jollof from your favorite spot in Ikeja, shopping online for your latest styles, or booking your next getaway to Dubai, MasterCard gives you the freedom to pay your way. Insert, tap, swipe, or click. So many options get so easy with layers of security protecting every payment. Your money stays safe.
From Danfo to travel, MasterCard connects you to the life you've earned and the one you dream of. Ask your bank for a MasterCard today. MasterCard, safe, convenient, priceless.
Who's got it cheaper? Because how else you explain these prices? Royster potato chips in sour cream and onion, hot and spicy and original. Now 2,700 naira at Boku. Others now 3,300 naira. 75 cl aqua clear water, 130 naira only. Inside market, 200 naira. Go Vita sachet unko, 150 naira only. Outside unko, 250 naira.
Oya, rush check Boku for better prices. If Boku abi no Boku.
It's the Indomie Eat and Win promo. The more you eat, the more you win. How to win? Buy the Indomie Eat and Win promo pack. Find the promo code inside. Visit indomie.ng/eat and win. Enter your promo code and start earning points fast. For a chance to win exciting gifts and 1 million naira cash every week for a lucky winner. So hurry now, eat and win. Let the winning begin. Visit indomie.ng/eat and win for more details, terms and conditions apply.
What does it really mean to live limitless?
It's a surgeon in Gombe leading a procedure in Lagos. It's SMEs showing up every day, pushing through the odds. It's students in remote towns streaming global lectures in real time. It's you making big moves in London while chilling by the pool in Abeokuta. It's power, it's freedom, it's mounting a router outside and connecting it inside for super fast internet. It's Airtel 5G Smart Connect. Enjoy unlimited data for limitless living with Airtel 5G Smart Connect. Visit the nearest Airtel shop to get yours. Airtel.
Hey, I don't win 50 million naira for betting virtual jackpot game this month. Billing go plenty. Everybody go to talk say, make I run them something.
Be the next Virtuals Jackpot millionaire and win a share of 120 million naira monthly. One winner gets 50 million naira in the King Monthly Jackpot, and 12,000 others get a share of the Virtuals Jackpot prize. Play now. Not for persons under 18. Play responsibly. T's and C's apply. That feeling? That's BetKing.
Auntie, you are enjoying, oh, only you. Peppered rice, amala, nkwobi, masa, cake, and now ice cream. I hope you have Justifies on you.
Justifies? I never leave home without it.
That's right, Justifies, the new natural effervescent powder for an instant refreshing relief from heartburn and stomach indigestion. Just add Justifies into a cup of water, drink, and you're good to go. Justifies, your relief on the go. Justifies is from the House of Justide. If symptoms persist after 3 days, consult your doctor. Made and marketed by Ranbaxy Nigeria Limited, a Sun Pharma company.
Sorry, madam. There's an emergency at the shop. They need you now. It's a serious...
Nothing is more serious than a Golden Morn breakfast with my family. Don't you understand? All our winnings start with a nutritious golden breakfast. Now, sit down. Please join us.
Yes, ma'am. At once.
Breakfast is serious business. Handle it with a nutritious Golden Morn. Now with a great new look. Trust Golden Morn to help fuel your family to win every day. Golden Morn. Make every day golden.
My mama no lie, oh. Food waste with na money kill and plus everything combined, oh. Everything combined, oh. Ogbonge gist the arrive, oh. She tell me say na Devon King, so yeah, all she dey use fry, oh. Yeah. Now why the jollof with this sweet like this? Chicken in the crisp like this. Fry the plantain, the chips and fish. Everything sweet and bliss. It's very, very soya, my cheese. Now we dey run it down like this. We dey cook it, we dey fry with cheese. Devon King oil is very, very...
Introducing the new Devon King's Soya Vegetable Oil from Devon King's, our trusted family brand. Available in stores nationwide.
This taste na banger, this taste na creamy rich, this taste na new Nescafe, original 3-in-1. Thickness, enjoyment, yumminess, happiness, delightfulness, deliciousness, smoothness. This taste na new Nescafe, original 3-in-1.
Enjoy more creamy richness with the new Nescafe original 3-in-1 in the new pack. That's strong, finish strong.
Welcome to 99.3 Nigeria Info.
ASU for the billionth time is on strike.
The constitution, we need to revisit it. The power is much on one man.
What are we going to do in our nation?
My question about these defections is, whose purpose or interest?
These people are de-educating Nigeria.
They are paying so much attention to themselves, not to national issues.
The position splits of an whole shift plan. They have come.
Nigeria seems to be one of the worst countries where you have leadership.
The day Atiku will say, Peter Obi, I support you. That is the day election will end.
No state governor threatening to send any of them that failed to wear a Shiwaju cap.
Biggest problem we have in Nigeria, it is the judiciary and I.
If you don't support a person, don't vote for him.
Every voice comes alive. Stay locked. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
This is Morning Crossfire on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Welcome back, Lagos. This is still the Morning Crossfire. Today we're diving deeply into a sensitive and controversial conversation, one that touches, as we said earlier, the heart of Nigeria's security, Nigeria's humanity, Nigeria's truth. And the term Christian genocide has been echoing. I mean, on social media, on radio and television, it's re-emerged in national and global discourse following a recent report by a non-government organization, Intersociety, otherwise known as the International Society for Civil Liberties and the Rule of Law. The report alleges that tens of thousands of Christians have been killed in Nigeria in the past 10 years, many in the middle belt and northern parts of the country, and that the government has failed to protect its citizens or hold the perpetrators accountable. Now, the report has said, debate. That is not in doubt. And we're asking this morning, is Nigeria witnessing targeted, religiously motivated violence? Is Nigeria truly witnessing targeted, religiously motivated violence, killings? Or are these attacks part of a broader complex, conflict over land, over water, over ethnicity and other resources that have nothing to do with religion? How was this report compiled? And what evidence exists to support the claims of this report? If you're listening, do you believe Christians are being systematically targeted in Nigeria? Do you think that this narrative oversimplifies a much larger security crisis? And what responsibility does the government, both federal and state government, what responsibility do they have to investigate the findings of this report and indeed address the killings that it has raised? Do reports like this help the cause of justice or deepen religious divisions? Are questions that you can answer by calling 0201 277 0993. 0201 277 0993. And you can also call 0201 465 7190. 0201 465 7190. Now, according to Intersociety, in that report, over 100,000 Christians have been killed or abducted in Nigeria since 2010. That's what he said. The report, Life the Span covers. And the group attributes these killings largely to Fulani headsmen, Boko Haram, ISWAP, and other armed militias especially in the northern and middle belt parts of the country. But they say the report is not limited to that part of the country, but it's all over the country. Now, the report also accuses the government and security agencies of complicity through what it calls inaction and selective response. Now, but these claims, of course, like we said earlier, have sparked, strong reaction. Some government officials have been talking since the report went international. Like I said, it's nothing new. Even last year, Intersociety had a report. I've seen it. But these claims have sparked reactions. Government officials, some, and analysts have dismissed the term genocide. Some have questioned the term genocide. They say it is inflammatory. And they're saying that the violence affects both Christians and Muslims and stems from banditry, terrorism, and communal clashes. The president himself said so when he went to Makodi to commiserate with the people of Yewata, but he was in Makodi. Anyway, let's leave that for another day. So they've looked at things like banditry, terrorism, communal clashes, not a coordinated religious agenda. Human rights experts, even security observers, on the other hand, however, insist that Nigeria's conflict cannot be fully understood without examining its religious dimension, especially where patterns of targeted killings, church attacks, and displacement are evident. So, of course, what exactly did the Inter-Society report find, and how was its data gathered? Now, our guest has told us that they relied on, their methodology, for collecting their data. They relied on eyewitnesses. They relied on media reports. He talked about Christian Concern and all that. They relied on field researchers as well, and they've been compiling these reports and updating it since 2010. All right, and I guess it's Emeka Umeagbalasi, He's the founder and board chairman of Intersociety, the International Society for Civil Liberties and Rule of Law. He's one of the most outspoken voices documenting attacks on communities in Nigeria and has been at the forefront of calls for global attention to what it describes as a silent genocide. Please call 0201-277-0993, 0201-465-7190. All right, 0201-465-7190. And you can also reach us on WhatsApp, 08095975805. Mr. Umeagbalasi, now, the word genocide is what you were trying to explain why you chose that, because a heavy word.
Yes. Yeah. You know, we don't manufacture all these words by ourselves. You know, I just want you to understand how grounded International Society for Civil Liberties and Rule of Law is. I have explained it and I don't want to repeat it. And the organization handlers are lawyers, criminologists, and name them, who are also grounded in the provisions of the international law, the Geneva Conventions of 1949 and their protocols of 77, 76, the international, the Rome Statute, that is the International Criminal Court of 1998, which Nigeria signed and ratified in September 2001. The Geneva Conventions, Nigeria ratified because it is inviolable as a member state of UN in 1961, months after their independence on 1st October 1960. And so many other international documents. The Convention Against a Genocide of 1948, which Nigeria also signed and ratified, and the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, African Charter on Human and People's Rights, all signed and ratified by government of Nigeria or by the Federation of Nigeria. So the issue of genocide, it has a clear meaning. Genocide has no confusion when it comes to international definition. I don't think that is where the bone of contention is, because when the time comes, at the appropriate times, then the expert will be able to determine what it is, whether it is genocide or whether it is pogrom or whether it is this. But one thing that is undeniable in Nigeria is the ravaging. We are in a state of ravaging religious persecution in Nigeria. And I want to quickly point out something very, very importantly. We are talking about Intersociety report is a specialist report. It's a designated report. It's a report that has an apportionment, a segment. As a criminologist and graduate of security studies, we were taught on issues of crimes. There are different categories of crime. There are street crimes. Crimes are divided into mala inse and mala prohibita, and so on and so forth. You have street crime, you have terrorism, you have religious crime, you have political crime, you have state crimes and things like that. So I want you to understand that report was specially prepared. I will give you another instance. For instance, last year in eastern Nigeria, we look at the activities of the deployed security forces, the armed non-state actors, and what have you, about the state of insecurity. Now, let me come about the state of insecurity in eastern Nigeria. And we issued a report, and the 280-page report, and that report covering 2015 to December 2024. And the title of that report is Ocean of Innocent Blood Flowing in Eastern Nigeria. It comprises of many crimes and what have you. And finally, before I let you go, you are talking about statistics. I can see your efforts trying to put a lot of things. But let me remind you that National Bureau of Statistics, which is a Nigerian government edition, in 2000 and the last few years, last year released a report saying that 614,000 Nigerians were killed in 1 year, 2023 to 2024. National Bureau of Statistics, federal government-owned statistic body. 614,000 Nigerians were killed in 1 year, 2023 to 2024.
Okay, so we don't have too much. I want you to just, back to this definition of the killings as Christian genocide. You've rightly said, under international law, there's a definition of genocide. It has a specific definition. And I want to understand what informed your use of that term, and how do you defend it against critics who say you are exaggerating the situation?
Forget that, for my brother. See, in discussion like this, we have the actor's position cannot at all times override the position of non-state actors. I just want you to understand that the government of Nigeria defense is saying is not banditry, insurrection, this, that, and what have you. I mean, also remove the fact that our report came from non-state actor perspective, and we are knowledgeable. We have the statistics, we have our findings. I don't want us to try to diminish or to make the whole thing to look diminutive, relying as if those sources we have displayed, I have told you, are credible sources through which you can generate a report.
So Emeka, just to chip this in now.
About the genocide they are talking about. About the genocide they are talking about.
Yeah.
That one of it is a targeted mass killing of members of a population on the ground of their ethnicity or religion, and including other crimes like forced migration, homelessness, displacement, forced marriage, abduction, forced conversion, change of religion, change of ethnicity, and what have you. These are the elements of genocide. That's why I said we know we don't have time here. There is no need of us dissipating energy on what constitutes genocide and what does not constitute genocide.
I would love to, for the people, because this is very important. I would love to dissipate that energy on behalf of you. Let me see if
then I have said it.
No, but
I have given you an example.
Okay, but the United Nations Convention on the Prevention and Punishment of Crime of Genocide, this is 1948. They say genocide includes any of the following acts committed with intent to destroy, in whole or in part, a national, ethnic, racial, or religious group. Please underline that if you're listening. Genocide includes any of the following acts committed with intent to destroy, in whole or in part, a national, ethnical, racial, or religious group. Now, 1, killing of members of the group. 2, causing serious bodily or mental harm to members of the group. 3, deliberately inflicting conditions of life intended to destroy the group, example, starvation, forced relocation, etc. Number 4, imposing measures to prevent births within the group. 5, forcibly transferring children of the group to another group. All right. So what they're saying that it's not just about mass killings, also about
all
intent
these elements,
to eliminate.
all these elements.
So did you find these?
I said all these elements are mentioned played out in the report. For instance, in Southern Kaduna, are you there?
Yeah, go on, listen.
Southern Kaduna region of Kaduna State is made up of 12 local government areas out of 23 local government areas of the state. And they are comprised of 64 ethnic nationalities, and they are predominantly Christians. As of 2 years ago, 3 years ago, so Capo made us understand that not less than 150 ethnic nationalities in that Southern Kaduna have been sacked. If you go to Plateau State, the government of Plateau State, both the previous one and current one, we tell you that there are more than 300 communities in Plateau State have been sacked. Indigenous communities in Plateau State, who are predominantly Christians, have been sacked. If you go to Taraba, if you go to Benue, the same thing. And again, you also look at, you underline religion there. Who are those people that are being targeted? Who are those members of those ethnic nationalities ethnic communities that have been displaced and sacked? And what is the condition of those sacked villages? Have they been renamed?
Do you have an example? Do you have an example of a community, village, a town that has experienced this?
My brother, we don't have that. We don't have time for all these things.
Give me one.
I don't know. I pleaded with you for this thing to be professional.
Yeah,
you understand? I have given you example. I said Southern Kaduna. Okay. You can go and ask the leadership of Sokapo, Southern Kaduna People's Union. You ask them how many of their communities have been sacked in Southern Kaduna. You can go to government of Benue State and ask the governor of Benue State The same thing with the governor of Plateau State. I'm talking about their current governors.
Right.
As the many communities have been sacked, and these are predominantly Christian communities. One thing I didn't tell you is that we are in the know of the location of Christian communities across Nigeria, particularly in the north. You can find them in southern Kaduna. You can have them in southern Borno. You can have them in southern Kebbi, and so on and so forth. You get, and our reports have touched there either through secondary sources or through primary sources. And do not forget that the Southeast, just like Southwest, are one of the most traveled ethnic nationalities in Nigeria. So we have contacts all over the place. Do you understand? So this is not something
Okay, so I mean, it's you talked about being professional. I think one of the professional things I'm doing this morning is to establish the geography of the violence, not to use what I already know, but to listen to you, which is why I invited you, sir. So you said your report also covers, talked about violence against Muslims. Am I correct?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so is there also a Muslim, genocide in Nigeria?
No, there's no Muslim. I don't know whether the report we are talking about here is the report we issued. And I also told you that part of our report was when these Shiite Muslims were killed. Still what I told you, that issue has not been addressed. Shiite Muslims in Nigeria were persecuted, particularly in 2015. And that issue has not been addressed up to today. Instead, there was a lot of manipulations and what have you, trying to stigmatize the victims and things like that. So if the Shiite Muslims decide to take it up, then we look at it. Do you get? I told you that we are worried about religious persecution in Nigeria and in the world over. Religious persecution.
Are you saying that? Would you describe? Since you say your data also covers Muslims, they fit into your data. Is also a Muslim genocide?
Now, if you are talking about, we don't want to go into that, because if you want to go into that, we begin to look at the perpetrators and their religious identities. Like I told you, if you want to locate this issue of genocide, then it can correctly be situated in the persecution or mass killing of Shiite Muslim processionists in Zaria in 2015.
Okay, I get what you mean. So you're saying that the identity of the perpetrators will play a role in the definition of the act as genocide, which is, I think I understand.
Of course, players. Who are the key players and what have you? For instance, in the northern Nigeria, who are those killing who?
Okay, so for instance,
like I told you, we know that they are banditry, they are these and what have you, in line with the National Board of Statistics.
Okay.
640. I don't know why you don't want to mention that. 640,000 Nigerians were killed between 2023 and 2024, and you don't want to mention that.
Okay.
It's not official statistics.
All right. That's why you're here. Okay, Mr. Emeka Umeagbalasi, that's why you're here. We are doing our job. We just ask you the questions, and then you provide the answers. Yeah, so we're being very professional at that. I want to put some colors on. I wish you had more time, because so many questions to ask you. So many questions to ask.
No problem. Right. We are here. We are the authors of the report.
No, not a problem. Let's see who we have on this line. 99.3.
Yes, this is Kofi from Shomolu.
Welcome.
I want to thank you. I want to say that the superfluidity of this data makes it very touchy. But for me, the unilateral compass that validates the topic of this data are distribution and demography. If you look at them, together, you would not dispute the fact that report is valid. However, I think that should not be our focus. I'm not saying that this debate is not valid, but I'm talking now to the security personnel in charge of, securing our borders and keeping Nigeria safe. I think they have a lot of work to do, And they need to make all Nigerians safe, regardless of their tribe and religion. Thank you. Have a good one.
All right. Thank you very much for your time, Kenny. Good to hear from you.
Was there any, did he ask any question?
No. It's a comment. But before you go, Mr.
Let me thank him for his opinion. He has his entire. I love that.
Okay.
Let me thank
Before
him.
you go now,
Yeah.
beyond the documentation, what do you believe must happen? From justice, even to policy, to stop the killings and to heal divisions in the country, especially in the
Thank
middle
you very
belt
much.
and north.
Just 2 days ago, we came up with another statement. Because federal government is saying, no, there is no religious persecution in Nigeria, blah, 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 and all that. In fact, openly, but indirectly, they are admitted. But we are now saying it is a wake-up call. I personally don't want the United States to designate Nigeria as a country of particular concern. I don't want that. Do you get? But sit up, because no country is an island unto itself. Now we outline 21 measures to be taken by federal government. Do you understand? Go all out against criminal parties, not minding their religion or ethnicity.
All right.
Don't treat others as a criminal party and leave others as untouchable.
Okay. Mr. Umeagbalasi, thank you very much. I've seen those 21 measures. I want to thank you for your time this morning and for joining us. Thank you so very kindly.
Thank you.
The energy from breakfast doesn't last my child the whole day. By halftime, your champ will be low on energy. That's why break time is the right time to refuel with the nourishing Milo drink.
Keep your champ in the game with a Milo drink in their lunchbox. It's made from the goodness of malt, milk, cocoa, and contains iron and calcium. Milo drink has a great taste your champs will love and a nourishing energy to help them make the most of every day. Milo, energy to go further.
Milo! It's the Indomie Eat and Win promo. The more you eat, the more you win. How to win? Buy the Indomie Eat and Win promo pack. Find the promo code inside. Visit indomie.ng/eat and win. Enter your promo code and start earning points fast for a chance to win exciting gifts and 1 million naira cash every week. For
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
Aha! For those your fine family, they will like Devon King soya oil.